Paul, looking back at 2016 now, let's start with a positive remark. What's been your highlight of 2016?
I suppose it was an up and down year for me. Finished better than it started probably, but the standout moment is probably the Aintree Festival. Ruby's misfortune of getting hurt. I managed to pick up the rides in Navan and York Hill in 2 Grade Ones, and the two of them won. So that was a big day.
And you mentioned there that the year probably finished better than it started. Looking back at this time last year, you just had to give up a ride on Navan through injury. As a jockey, how do you pick yourself back up mentally from those sorts of injuries when things perhaps aren't going your way?
I suppose you have no choice but to pick yourself back up. I hurt my ankle, I broke my ankle, and I tried to come back and I couldn't. So I just had to take another couple of weeks and get it right. But fortunately, I was in the position that I knew when I came back that Willie'd still support me, and that's a huge help mentally and everything else.
Yeah, that's a massive help. And then, of course, perhaps a little light on winners through January, but you had a Grade 2 winner aboard Measure of My Dreams at Navan in February. Did that feel like a turning point in the year for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a help, I suppose, before Cheltenham anyway, and a boost. So if you having a bit of luck in this game, you're at nothing.
And heading into March, looking back at the festival, what was your best result there?
I was second on Shane's Hill in the RSA. Thought I had a chance of winning jumping the last, and it's probably just outstayed a bit up the hill, but that's as close as I got. It wasn't as good as the week I had the year before, but it's Cheltenham and it's so competitive. I suppose to be getting in the shake up there at all is good, you know.
Yeah, and what's it like to be going there as part of the Mullins team for the 4 days?
It's great. It's a help anyway. There's such a big team goes over. It's a huge effort from everyone in the yard, and fair play to them. It's like moving a whole yard there for the week. To do a great job with shifting horses in and out and organising everything. I suppose we stick to the riding side of it more so, and we're busy that way. But no, he's such ammunition going over, and to be part of it and getting the rides for him it definitely makes it easier to get close in the races over there.
And you've already said that Aintree was probably your highlight. You then headed on into Punchestown, had another Grade 1 winner and a few more winners as well. Tell us a bit more about those.
Yeah, the season definitely finished well for me. Ruby was coming back from injury and just rode in the Grade 1s. I was lucky enough to pick up a couple of good rides then, that I wouldn't have got otherwise on Willie's, and I managed to sneak a Grade 1 then as well on the second string. So Punchestown was good to me. It has been since I started riding. So Willie's horses were firing up there, and I was lucky to pick up a couple of nice winners.
And heading into the summer months, you actually had nearly 100 rides during July and August. Do you like the summer jump racing? Yeah,
it's competitive, I suppose we are lucky here. We're kept busy 12 months of the year. It's competitive. As from my point of view, I suppose Willie isn't as busy, and I don't get as many rides for him, but I was well supported by a couple of trainers throughout the summer, and I managed to get a couple of winners for them. And I suppose it's very different type of racing to winter racing, but it's every bit as competitive, and we're busy, yeah.
But jockeys are the only sportsmen that are performing at match level every day. You're riding at evening meetings during the summer as well. Does that sort of thing take its toll in the middle of the year?
It definitely does. I'd definitely be all for a bit more of a break for us. in the middle of the summer, it's tough to keep going. Just give the body a time to heal and recharge the batteries. I usually get a holiday for myself for a couple of weeks in the middle of summer anyway. So no, it's just nice mentally, I suppose, and physically to just get away from it and just recharge the batteries and any knocks you've picked up, just give them a chance to heal. And it is everyday job,
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on later into the year, September, the main sort of news story for racing, the Gigginstown taking away 60 horses from the Willie Mullins Yard. Did that have much of an impact on day-to-day life in the yard? What was the atmosphere then?
I suppose it was a shock to everyone down there. We didn't hear it, I suppose, until everyone else did that morning. Willie came and announced it, and it was a shock. And I suppose you feel sorry for the lads and lasses in the yard who looked after the horses. They were their pets, I suppose, and best friends. They spend so much time with them, so it was disappointing for them to lose such good horses, and it definitely left a big hole in the yard.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. And later in the year, October and November, saw you picking up a winner at Aintree and Cheltenham, respectively, both winning at big prices. Do you get particular pleasure from coming across the water to take on the English lads?
I do. I suppose, it's so competitive in Ireland that you have to go where you can get a good ride. If between Willie Mullins, Gordon Elliott, JP McManus and Gigginstown, there isn't too many good spare rides going. And I've been fortunate that I've come over a few times and got a couple of winners out of it. And it's definitely nice to take on the lads and meet some new faces over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And December's been particularly fruitful for you. Plenty of graded success in recent weeks. Looking back at the likes of Navan, Bells Hill, Lisson Deer, has there been a particular highlight for you this month?
Sure, it's hard to look beyond Navan really. That was a big weekend. I managed to get 4 winners in Cork the same day. Plenty of pressure on riding Navan his first comeback and in front of my home crowd. Cork is my local race course at home, so there's a lot of locals there, and I was delighted to get the job done in front of him, and there's a massive crowd turned out for him. 4 winners on the day then was just the icing on the cake.
Oh, brilliant. And as a more sort of broader look back at the year, has there been a particular jockey and a particular horse that might have caught your eye through 2016?
Sure, I suppose Jack Kennedy has just showed us all again how he has come through the ranks. He's only a kid. He's 100 winner. He's won the Lexus, so he's definitely caught the eye. And Thistle Crack for the Tizzards.
So that sort of brings us right up to today. Looking forward to 2017. If I can give you one wish, what would it be?
Sure, the boring one, I suppose, to stay safe and ride loads of winners.
It doesn't sound boring to me. Well, good luck for 2017, and we'll all be listening and watching throughout the year.